He took my baby. I have an image of my son dying in my head.
All I can say is that I'm sorry to all the mothers and the children out there. If I could do anything to prevent this, I would. I threw a birthday party for my little daughter. She actually turned 2, and I just wanted all my family to come together and be together as it would be like an incident happened. As me getting ready to start my baby, to start cutting her cake and stuff, everybody's getting together around and just start cutting the cake, and all we heard was gunshots, and everybody just fell to the ground. It was just unexpected. I don't know what happened. I'm just so shocked and lost, and I'm lost of words. I'm speechless, and I just want to say I'm sorry to all the mothers out there that lost their kids at my birthday party. I don't even know what was going on. Everybody was inside. It was just a misunderstanding. Everybody was getting ready to cut the cake, like I said, and I actually thought it was my balloons popping. It was gunshots. So it's my daughter's niece. Both his nieces passed away. My sister actually got shot. My cousin got shot. My son's friend got shot. My 3 of my friends got shot. My friend's baby dad got shot and got killed. Yes, I work for the AA Whole Life Center. I work with the youth. And that's why it's really hurting me, because I see youth all day. I see kids all day. I'm a mother of 3. So for me to see kids on the floor and just bleeding and I can't help them, and I help people that I help the youth at my job, it was hurting me not to help them on the floor. Try not to be in public all the time with your kids, because anything can happen and bullet does not have a name. I believe that if you guys ever have a birthday party, just have a birthday party indoors and don't be outside.
We're very grateful for our local law enforcement agencies. We have called out several agencies to come in and assist, including Manteca Police Department, Stockton PD. We've got the District Attorney's Office. We have the FBI. Again, our #1 priority is ensuring that we find that suspect and hold them accountable.
Do you have the ages of the victims?
Ages range from juvenile to adult. I don't have specific ages that I can release at this time.
Do you know if multiple people fired guns or if it was just one person?
That's under investigation at this time.
Were the victims inside or outside of the venue?
To my understanding, and again, I'll correct this if needed, but to my understanding, that the victims were inside of the banquet hall.
What is the name of the banquet hall?
I'll have to provide that at a later time.
Do you know yet what was happening at the banquet hall? What type of event this was?
To my understanding, it was a family gathering.
The mayor said it was something to do with the child's birthday celebration. Can you elaborate on that?
That's information that's coming in at this time. I do not have that to confirm.
Where's the suspect?
We are working to locate the suspect at this time.
Is there any reason to believe that it's more than one person?
That's information that we'll have to confirm at a later time.
Were any firearms recovered at the scene?
I don't have that information for you at this time.
Do you have any information on
the vehicle?
The investigation on the Thornton Plaza?
We will not be releasing that information at this time. Everything is under investigation.
Are you able to share which direction the banquet hall is in, if it's further down Thornton or on Lucille?
So behind us, I don't know if you guys can see, there's a Dairy Queen. Inside that parking area, there is a banquet hall.
So
It's further down.
Oh. So where the rocks are. City or county?
County. The sheriff's office is handling this investigation at this time.
There's a shooter outside of the shelter fire?
Specific information is all under investigation at this time. We will be providing an update when we can.
I have to imagine, I don't know if you're able to speak on this, investigations like this involving children cannot be easy for any of the deputies or officers on scene.
It is unfathomable that there are young children who are harmed, that there is anybody who is harmed in this, and our hearts go out to those victims, to their families, and to our community.
Picture this. It's a Saturday evening in late November 2025. A banquet hall in Stockton, California is filled with laughter, music, and excited chatter of families gathered together. Balloons decorate the walls. A birthday cake sits ready on a table. Parents watch as children run and play. This is supposed to be a joyful celebration. A 2-year-old girl's birthday party with over 100 friends and family members in attendance. But in less than 5 minutes, this celebration would transform into one of the deadliest mass shootings in Stockton's history. 4 people would be dead, including 3 children. 11 others would be wounded. And an entire community would be left asking one devastating question. Why? This is the story of the Stockton birthday party massacre. November 29th, 2025 started like any other Saturday for Patrice Williams. She had been planning her daughter's 2nd birthday party for weeks. She'd rented a banquet hall on Lucille Avenue in an unincorporated area of Stockton. Friends, family, cousins, everyone was invited. By early evening, the venue was packed with between 100 and 150 guests, young and old, all there to celebrate. The atmosphere was electric with joy. Children played together, while adults caught up with relatives they hadn't seen in months. The smell of food filled the air. As 6 p.m. approached, it was almost time for the main event, cutting the birthday cake. Family members gathered around, phones ready to capture the moment. Patrice Williams would later tell the Associated Press that her daughter, the birthday girl, was unharmed. But she also said something that reveals the depth of this tragedy. Her sister, a cousin, and 3 friends were all shot that night. Just before 6 p.m., as family prepared to sing Happy Birthday, the first shots rang out. Patrice Williams initially thought balloons were popping. It's a heartbreaking detail. In those first seconds, her brain couldn't process that gunfire had erupted at her baby's birthday party. But this was no balloon. This was an ambush. According to investigators, the shooting began inside the banquet hall and then spilled outside. Sheriff Patrick Withrow would later reveal that authorities believe multiple shooters were involved. This wasn't a lone gunman losing control. This was coordinated. The gunfire continued for at least 5 minutes, an eternity when bullets are flying. A nearby resident reported that at least 10 bullets struck his home. 3 went through his walls, missing him and his dog by mere inches. For 5 long minutes, this neighborhood became a war zone. When the shooting finally stopped and the smoke cleared, the scene was apocalyptic. Bodies lay on the ground. The injured cried out for help. Parents desperately searched for their children. Emergency services rushed to the scene. But for 4 victims, it was already too late. 3 of the 4 people killed were children, lives cut devastatingly short. An 8-year-old 3rd grader, whose parent worked for the Stockton Unified School District. A 9-year-old child, and 14-year-old Amari Peterson, described by his mother as full of life and laughter, the glue that held their family together. His father would later suggest that the shooter may have been targeting a rapper who was present at the party, that his son was simply in the wrong place at the wrong time. The 4th victim was 21-year-old Susano Archuleta. According to his aunt Patricia Flores, Susano was there celebrating a friend's daughter. He was just starting his adult life. 11 others were wounded, ranging in age from 8 to around 30 years old. Some have been released from the hospital. Others improved but faced long recoveries. At least 1 victim remained in critical condition, fighting for their life. In the immediate aftermath, law enforcement launched one of the largest manhunts in recent Stockton history. The San Joaquin County Sheriff's Office made this case their absolute top priority.
About how far we are into this right now, and so understand that a lot of you have seen what we've put out so far, but just wanted to take this opportunity to come and give you a little bit of an update of where we're at on this. Not a lot to add to it, but wanted to give you the opportunity to ask any questions you might have also. So as you know, approximately 21 hours ago, a little before 6 o'clock, we had a mass shooting at a child's birthday party here in Stockton, in the county region of Stockton. Our units responded and found approximately 15 victims of gunshot wounds at this party, and unfortunately 4 of those 15 are deceased now. As we put out, the ages are from 8, 9, 14, and 21. in this horrific shooting that occurred. We have been actively investigating this, obviously, from the moment it happened. We've had our team on the scene processing it for the past 21 hours, and while that was going on, we were actively following up all the leads that we have, looking for witness statements, asking anyone to give us any video that they might have of this incident, and following every lead that we have at this time. I am confident in our team and with the work that we have done so far, that we will find these animals that did this and bring them to justice. But we still need the public's help on this. We need everyone who has any information on this to reach out to us. This is the time for our community to show that we will not put up with this type of behavior where people will just walk in and kill children. We all know that there are people out there that are violent and commit violent crimes, but these animals walked in and shot children at a children's birthday party. And none of us should stand for that. And so if you know anything about this, you have to come forward and tell us what you know. If not, you just become complacent and think this is acceptable behavior. Any little bit that you can get us will help us. And so we are diligently following up everything that we have so far. So please continue to give us more information, and we will follow every single lead and be very detail-oriented so that the moment that we have these subjects in custody, we will be able to hold them accountable, and our DA will be able to charge them and make sure that they will never be able to do this again to anyone else. So at this time, I'll take some questions.
Sheriff, two things. The mayor told us this morning that this was actually a gang-related, targeted hit. And also, I'd like to know the 5 people that were arrested about 10:30 last night. How does that fit into the shooting that happened?
Well, the 5 people that were arrested, that was done by Stockton Police Department, so you'll have to follow up with them on that. As far as the mayor's comments, I'm sure she was well-intentioned on that, but at this time our investigation, as you know, is very early on. So we are not going to say one thing or specifically another thing until we've gone through all our evidence and know exactly that we're giving you exactly the facts of what occurred there. So we're not going to make a statement like that. We're going to say that we're confident that this was not a random act. They walked into this area and was probably looking for somebody in particular. Why they did that, what they're part of, who they are, we don't know. But this was not somebody who was unacquainted with them. We don't believe it was not something where the rest of the public has to fear. This wasn't this some terrorist type attack where they walked in and just wanted to kill people. So we're not gonna say whether it's gang related or not until we have all the facts in front of us.
Sheriff, do you believe there was one or more shooters at this point, from what you've heard?
You know, we believe from what we've gathered so far that there appears to be multiple shooters. But once again, we've gathered all the evidence, we're processing it, and then detectives will continue to investigate, and it'll take a little while because as we gather the evidence, we'll find out whether there was one gun or multiple guns, or if we look at videos or we get statements from people if there was one shooter or multiple shooters. So once again, we're gonna be very diligent before we say definitively what there was.
Sheriff, earlier today we did see a tow truck taking away a black Kia. Is that part of the evidence? Or
I'm unaware of that, but it wouldn't surprise me. There were multiple cars I was told that have been towed. We did see some that had bullet holes in it and things like that. So once again, being very detailed, not knowing how they fit into this puzzle, we're going to tow them, store them for evidence and storage, and then process those vehicles till we can understand how they fit into this puzzle.
And one more question, Sheriff. At one point of this investigation, would our authorities going to be releasing any photos of suspects or at least vehicles of interest? Any information so the public can help out?
You know, that will be up to our detectives. If they need that help from the public, then they will do that. But if they don't, or if they don't have that type of information at this time, then we won't be able to do that. So we'll just have to wait and see.
Sheriff, how's the family doing? I'm sure you talked to them.
You know, I have not got to speak with the families. We have our grief counselors and throughout the county that are helping the best that we can. I just personally drove in here 8.5 hours from being with my family for Thanksgiving in Oregon, and so I put down my grandbabies to come hump down these animals who took somebody else's babies away from them. So I haven't been able to meet with all the families, but I understand that there's been so much community outreach to them that they're being well cared for, from what I hear.
Do we know that the role of the other victim taken? We were told from one of our reporters at the scene that an owner of the building from near the banquet hall, that firearms were taken. They were found on the roof of his building. Can you confirm that?
You know, I understand that there were some firearms found on the roof of the building. But whether they're related to this crime or not, we do not know. So I don't know how many, if there were multiple or one. So we're just, again, waiting to see how they fit in, if they do, to this crime.
Do we know the condition of the victims?
I'm sorry?
Do we know the condition of the victims in the hospital?
You know, the only thing I know is that I know at least one is critical, and the status on all the other victims, I'm not sure. I have not heard.
And of the 4 deceased victims, do we know, did they live in Stockton? Were they visiting from out of town?
I do not have that answer. I'm sorry at this time.
Sheriff, did the shooting happen indoors or outdoors or both?
You know, it appears so far that it happened both. It appears that it started indoors and then worked its way outdoors.
Are the victims related?
You know, I don't know that. I don't know. I just know that it was a family birthday party, so I assume, like all of our family birthday parties, that friends and family and everybody comes together, and then this happens.
Sheriff, do you feel you're close to putting out some kind of description?
You know, I don't know if we're going to need to do that, or if we're going to do that. Once again, they just wrapped up at the scene, and we're still going through all the evidence that we have. So sometimes in crimes, you identify suspects, and you don't have to put out a description or anything because you identified who they are. And other times, maybe we get video and we're not sure who they are, and then we'll put something out like that. So we're just going to see how it develops. And if we need that help, then we'll come back to you guys and ask you to help us with that.
Early evidence suggested this was not a random attack. Sheriff Withrow stated that the shooters likely walked into the area looking for someone in particular. But who, and why at a child's birthday party? Mayor Christina Fugazi indicated that gang violence was suspected, though Sheriff Withrow cautioned it was too early to make that determination. Amari Peterson's father believed a rapper at the party may have been an intended target. The pieces of this puzzle remain scattered. Investigators recovered at least one firearm from the building's roof. Several vehicles were towed as evidence. The FBI joined the investigation, offering a reward of $50,000 for information leading to arrests and convictions. Combined with other rewards, $75,000 is now available to anyone who can help solve this case. But as of December 2nd, 2025, 4 days after the shooting, no arrests have been made. The shooters remain at large. The community response has been immediate and powerful. Over 100 people attended an interfaith vigil the day after the shooting. Vice Mayor Jason Lee made an emotional plea for peace, urging community members not to seek retaliation, acknowledging the human desire to hurt those who hurt the people we love. Mayor Fugazi called the shooting an act of terrorism and warned anyone helping the killers evade justice.
It's been gangster to kill kids. Never. It's never been gangster to kill kids. You went in a birthday party and shot people's children. So I know we're here. We want, if I could just, parents brought their children out and they left with medical examiners. That is not human. That is not human. And I will say to those who are thinking of retaliation, when my brother got murdered, I thought about it too. It's human to want to hurt people who hurt people you love. But I had a choice to make, and I hope that the people out there in our community make the right choice and contact law enforcement, call me, call the mayor, call whoever you know, call the pastors, call your friend, turn yourself in. Because at some point, the redemption for what you did is going to happen when you see the person that created you. But you can start that process by turning yourself in and doing the right thing today.
It's almost been 24 hours, and I have to say, this community is hurting. I'm hurting, the families are hurting. And last night, it was almost overwhelming. And I can't imagine a parent burying their child, what that must feel like when they should be making their Christmas list, wrapping presents, looking forward to Christmas Eve. And they'll never have that opportunity. I also feel anger. How could this happen? Those are questions that we have. Why? We'll never know why. And guess what? We can't focus on the why. We have to focus on coming together. We have to focus on unity. We have to focus on supporting one another, reaching across the aisle, extending a hand to everyone in this community, no matter what happened in the past.
California Governor Gavin Newsom described a massacre as horrific and offered full state support for the investigation. Perhaps most heartbreaking was Patrice Williams' statement to the media. Through tears, she apologized to all the mothers who lost their children at her daughter's birthday party. The guilt of a grieving hostess. Another victim of this senseless violence. Local artists have begun creating a song with children from across Stockton as a tangible response to the violence, a way to process collective trauma through art and community. As this investigation continues, fundamental questions linger. Who pulled the triggers that night? Why did they choose a child's birthday party to carry out their attack? If this was targeted, couldn't they have found another time, another place, somewhere innocent children weren't celebrating life? The Stockton community deserves answers. The families of Amari Peterson, Susano Archuleta, and 2 other young children deserve justice. The 11 survivors, some still hospitalized, deserve to know why their lives were forever changed in 5 minutes of terror. Authorities are urging anyone with information, video footage, witness accounts, even rumors, to come forward. Someone knows something. Someone saw something in a room with over 100 people. There are answers waiting to be uncovered. If you have any information about this case, please contact the San Joaquin County Sheriff's Office at 209-468-4400, Stockton Crime Stoppers at 209-946-0600, or submit a tip to the FBI's online portal. This is a case that demands justice. For the children who will never grow up, for the families forever broken, for a community that refuses to let violence define them, the investigation continues.